What is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Apex Online Racing. Round number 10 here today at what you would honestly probably call the Holy Grail of Formula 1, the Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. I don't know why I said Silverstone, but anyway, we're here, British Grand Prix. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar. I've always liked this racetrack. So hopefully we can have a good run of things today. Hopefully we can avoid any little incidents like last time out at Austria. We do have a little penalty that we got given afterwards from the stewards for that, so that was a bit unfortunate, but we'll try and bounce back today and extend our lead in the championship if we can, and just come away with another solid finish. So out for qualifying we go, full dry weekend again. If I do sound at any point a little bit worn out or a bit tired, I am actually recording this just after, and I mean literally just after, I finished recording for RaceSpec Esports, the Elite Series from Austria. I literally finished recording that probably 2 minutes ago, and now I'm here recording this, so bit of a busy boy right now. I'm trying to record as much as I can, so I've got a couple of videos to go out in the upcoming days. But anyway, our first run in qualifying, it was pretty good. There's a few mistakes come across the line. We are going to go provisional pole position on a 126.6. I do think that gets beaten by Darren. Yes, it does. So he knocks us down to P2, but coming around now on our second flying lap with about 5 minutes to go. Purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2. First sector wasn't real good, not going to lie, nor was the second. Somehow we are purple, come across the line, 126.3. So we do improve by 2 tenths to go provisional pole. Surprised me a bit because that lap actually didn't feel as good as the first one, yet we were like 3 tenths quicker. So yeah, that was a bit odd to see how all that works. But anyway, we're going to come back in the pits now, chill, have a break for a minute, and go out for our final run. I want to leave it as late as I possibly can so I can cross the line with, literally 5 seconds to spare, if that. But again, if you get this wrong, it'll bite you in the arse. But as you can see there, if you look up at the top right, it's done exactly that. It's bit us in the arse because we have left it too late and we're not going to make it back around. As you can see, there's only like a minute 10 seconds remaining. It's probably a minute 40 to do an outlap, so we're about 30 seconds shy. So we've we kind of blew that one, didn't we? So we're not going to get a final run in, unfortunately. Just a stupid little mistake. I was too busy paying attention to what my teammate was doing, and yeah, but luckily enough for us, we do actually keep pole position. Darren and Pete both only improved ever so slightly, so we get pole position here for the British Grand Prix, and oh dear, okay, that just happened. Yeah, my AI is just completely run up the arse of a McLaren. But anyway, it's the end of qualifying, so you know what, that doesn't matter. Times are set, so that won't affect anything. But anyway, yeah, so that's been qualifying. Pole position again. Not going to say comfortably. The 2 Mercedes right behind us, as they basically always are. And yeah, so hopefully we can have a good run of things. Our teammate Stuart McKenzie, unfortunately, down in 10th. So in a bit of an awkward spot for him, not going to lie. He probably would have preferred to be knocked out of the 10, not going to lie, or conversely be up the front like he was in Monaco. But hopefully he can try and come up through the field a little bit, maybe try and back me up a little bit. But here we are on the grid, soft to mediums for the strategy. I think that's going to be a fairly straightforward strategy for everybody, apart from Contrast, I think, and maybe Dubsy. I think both those guys are on the mediums, so I think they will undoubtedly go to the softs at the end, which means they'll be very pacey at the end, so we'll want to try and get away from those guys if we can. But just waiting for everybody to finish readying up. That took quite a while, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, away we go for the formation lap around this British Grand Prix, and it's been a while since we've seen a Williams and Mercedes up the front. I think it's 2014 or 15 that this actually happened in real life? There was a Williams front row lockout and a Mercedes second row lockout. Unfortunately, that hasn't quite happened here today, but we do have a Williams on pole, 2 Mercedes right up our backside, so we're going to have to work hard to defend from these two, but Darren has left. Okay, so this is going to make things really interesting. I don't know what happened, maybe some internet problems, but as you can see, Pete slowing everybody up, probably just trying to give his teammate as much time as he can to get back, and not gonna lie, that was probably on edge to whether it was legal or not. I mean, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the stewards game. We're here to race and try and do a good job of it, but yeah, I don't think there were a lot of people impressed. There certainly wasn't in the party that I was in. There was a lot of people questioning, you know, why we were so slow. But I don't think anyone got disqualified or anything, so, you know, all good. We come back around. Darren has still not rejoined, so I don't know what's going on with him. So it looks like we're going to be battling Pete Crichton maybe for the most part. Actually, speak of the devil, he's just joined, but I don't know if he can retake control of his car. I think he can. I'm not sure how, but it'd be interesting to see what happens to him. But anyway, 5 red lights, and away we go. Held the lights for a while there. Looks like a pretty decent start compared to Pete Crichton. Darren's ghost car slots into second. Won't stay there for very long, I'd imagine. No, already being swamped by the pack. Pete up into second, Swaggy up into third. We maintain the lead already. We've run really wide into that right-hander. We hold on to the lead just. Mercedes, Alfa Romeo right behind us, but we hold them off for now. Darren, I think, is taking control of his car back. So I think he's back in like P8 or something. He's actually near our teammate. So I don't know, maybe Stewart can try and hold him off for us. That would be quite helpful. But anyway, fastest lap of the race, but that's lap 1. That don't mean shit. You always go faster on lap 2. But the main aim, I guess, in this first stint was not necessarily to try and break away, but just to try and, you know, settle into a bit of a rhythm, but not kind of back everyone up to the point where we were being attacked. I wanted to run a fast pace, but not over the top. And as you can see, fastest lap of the race on lap 3 onto lap 4. Darren beats that though, so he's coming back through the field at a fairly quick rate of not a Mercedes driver, so this could be interesting. Swaggy and X-Revolution going at it, and I believe they actually make contact in that right-hander. Both of them have spun around, so that puts Spilly up into P3, so he will be very happy with that. But cutting on to lap 9, Darren, you disposed of Spilly fairly quickly, caught up to myself and Pete Crichton, and on to the end of lap 9, Pete into the pit, so he's trying the undercut on us. Darren is staying out, so he's probably going to come in next lap on lap 10, which is what I planned on doing. So this is going to be interesting to see how the undercut works. So we're going to go for a qualifying style lap here on our in lap, hell for leather, and just see if we can minimise the damage to the Mercedes driver. Darren is stuck right with us on this in lap as well. Into the pits, get it slowed down, make sure we don't speed the Mercedes driver right behind us. But I think he's in a bit of an awkward spot here, because as you can see, Spilly has followed us in, and I think Darren may actually get held in the pits here, because Spilly is not that far off. He's coming around the corner now, and I think he's going to get held up looking behind us, and Darren has. He's been held up by the Racing Point driver, so that, I guess you could say, allows us to breathe a little bit. As you can see, we have got a reasonable gap over him now. Looking on the minimap now, just awaiting the arrival of his partner in crime, Pete Crichton, coming along the front straight now. You can see the blue dot coming around the first corner. There he is, and he's only just going to jump us. So the undercut has only just worked for the Mercedes driver. So that in-lap that we put in, that qualifying style in-lap, has really helped us there, because we've got a bit of a gap over Darren now, so we're not really being attacked from behind. So for the moment at least, we can kind of just worry about Pete Crichton in front of us. Cutting on to lap 12, I thought about a move into Stowe. I think it's Stowe. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hopeless with corner names. But sticking behind the Silver Arrow for now. Darren, slowly but surely, catching back up to us. At this point, I felt like Pete wasn't running at 100% maximum pace. So a few seconds later in the DRS zone, we're going to try and change that. Rich fuel mixture, high ERS, DRS open, up the inside. He didn't defend that as hard as what I thought he would, honestly. And at this point, I've got to admit, I was actually really enjoying this race. It was a good, hard, clean battle, and it was actually good fun. I was actually really enjoying this. But cutting on to the end of lap 13, I tried to go for a bonsai lap here. Obviously, passing Pete with DRS. Coming up to the line, this should be a fastest lap, and it is a 29.5. 3/4 of a second quicker than the previous fastest lap. But even setting that pace, we were not able to break away. Pete back up our inside into Stowe towards the end of lap 15. Darren right behind us as well. Will he look for a bonsai dive bomb? No, he doesn't. Sticks him behind us for now. And that's almost a little tap on the back of the Mercedes there. I thought I actually just tapped him. Thankfully, no damage done. On to lap 17, still right behind him, and that is a 3-second time penalty, and that's a big problem, but we can't worry about that just yet. Darren looking down our inside into the left-hander. Kind of a 50-50 move there. I didn't know if he wanted to go for it or not. He caught me off guard, politely telling my engineer to leave me alone. Cutting on to lap 18 now, we're right under the rear wing of Pete Crichton. We're saving ARS. We show the nose to the inside. He just leaves us enough room. Really good driving by all three of us, really. We haven't made any contact so far in the battling that has ensued. And I've got to admit, this is really good fun. I'm really enjoying this. Under the rear wing of the Mercedes, do we look for a move into the old turn one? No, I didn't want to risk it. I felt like that would have ended badly for one of us. And if you look back on history, it normally ends worse for me than what it does the two Mercedes. So we'll try and play this a bit smarter and try and get the move done with DRS. Rich fuel mixture. Hopefully we can try and reel him in. Are we going to look for the move? We're gaining. Darren right behind us as well, so we've got to look out for him. Not close enough to get the move done. Second Merc right up here, gearbox. Will he look for a dive now? Up the inside. No, not this time around. Pete a little bit wide in there again. That time, that was a tap. That time we definitely touched the back of the Mercedes. No damage again, thankfully. So we're getting a bit lucky at the moment. But cutting on to lap 19. Unfortunately, I think our teammate Stuart McKenzie retired. Probably the better part of actually 5 laps ago or something. I can't remember. But here we go. Rich fuel mixture. DRS. Overtake on the ERS. Up the inside of the Mercedes. Back into the lead of the race, and at this point I think Pete is actually struggling quite a lot with ERS, and since we've saved a lot and a fair bit of fuel as well while we were staying behind him, so at this point I was thinking, okay, now's the time, now we're going to go, and now I do want to see if I can truly break away when push comes to shove. Can I break away? Cutting on to lap 20, another fastest lap of the race, 128.9. So we knock another 3/4 of a second off our fastest lap. We are out of DRS range of the Mercedes, crucially, but also, crucially enough to note, Pete Crichton of Darren 11 have swapped around. I think they did it about here last lap, and Pete, I think, is really struggling with DRS. He's fallen off the back of his teammate a little bit, so this race is ours for the taking now. We've got a 3-second time penalty hanging over our heads though, so we need to try and bridge this gap again. 2.7, not quite enough. Cutting on to lap 25, I'm using everything, all the fuel, all the ARS, all the tyres. Gap, just still not quite 3 seconds. I'm doing everything I can to try and eke away from the Mercedes. I need about 3-4 tenths. We run really wide through Stowe, that'll cost us a bit of time, but I'm just doing everything I can. I know at this point Darren has no penalties. I don't even think he has a warning, which watching the stream back did come as a bit of a surprise, I'm not going to lie, looking at some corners where he definitely exceeded track limits and got away with it, but you know what, it's whatever, it's happened. But anyway, push comes to shove, where we're just doing all we can. We're going hell for leather, we've got no fuel, we've literally got no ERS, no fuel, no tyres. At this point, I'm even starting to feel quite exhausted. So I'm laying it all on the line right here to try and bridge this gap. 3 seconds, as you can see, and that's what we need. So I'm just doing all that I can. I'm praying that Darren makes a mistake and we can capitalise on that. Half a lap to go now, and at this point I was so nervous in these last couple of corners in this final sector. I was prepared to throw it all on the line. If I made a mistake and fell off the racetrack, then I was going to accept that. I want this win. Throwing the car through Maggots and Beckett's, and we've run a little bit wide on the grass. That's going to hurt us down this straight. The gap is so close. We need about 2/10 in this final sector. This is going to be so close. Who is going to win this race, ourselves or Darren? Williams versus Mercedes. Up to the final 2 corners now. We're doing everything we can. We've put in the best lap we can with literally no fuel, no ERS, and no damn tyres left. Up to the line. Are we going to win the race? No. Darren gets it on penalties. Ah, bugger. So there we go, guys. That has been round number 10 here today for Apex Online Racing, the British Grand Prix. Some good battling with the 2 Mercedes drivers, not going to lie, really enjoyed that. Never really exchanged any paintwork, and that's what real good hard racing is. But anyway, that's all from me today, guys. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. And until my next video, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.